If this is your first time in the channel, subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Knoxville, Tennessee. I am Yomar.
And I'm Christian with Castillo Realty. And whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, we'd love to help you out. We get calls every day from people just like you. So shoot us a call. Our information is in the description box below. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey everybody, Hilma here. Christian and I are going to be diving today into something that it's in everybody's mind today, or lately we can say, and it is, how is the market in Knoxville? And a lot of people are asking us. We're doing the video just because of that. We have gotten tons of messages from people like you asking, where's the market heading? What's driving the market? Is it a good time to buy or sell?
And that's right. And honestly, we can say that our economy, our market right now is a little interesting, right? So we're going to get past all the political hoopla. That's a word that I learned just now, by the way. We're going to get past the hoopla, and we're going to talk all about what it's like, what our market is like, and help you make an informed decision on moving to Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, right? Because I know everybody is going to be commenting in our comment section down below about the interest rates, right? That's the biggest thing that I hear all the time when people say anything about buying a home is, well, what are the interest rates like? And yes, they are rising. Currently, right now, they are higher than they were, I would say, 4 or 5 months ago. But it's not all doom and gloom, because although the interest rates are higher, Knoxville housing prices are a lot lower than the national average. So, it creates that affordability aspect that kind of brings a lot of people into Knoxville. And I will tell you one very important thing, that the higher interest rates have created a more stable market for buyers and sellers.
And also, we're not seeing the multiple offers in every single home as we did when the interest rates were lower,
right,
or a lot lower than it is today.
Sure.
So you as a buyer may have a better opportunity to getting the home without paying an arm and a leg,
right,
or overpriced to get the home. So that is still I know it is no nice to hear, a higher interest rate, but at the same time, you are able to get the home you need. So one thing evens out the other.
Well said. Now, and this is a point that I like to talk about a lot, because I think this is a point that doesn't actually get talked about enough. Home prices and appreciation. You know what I mean? Because look, guys, the sustainability of prices skyrocketing from 2020 to 2024 right now is just not sustainable. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A house going up in price $50,000 to $100,000 in 2 years is just unheard of. The normal appreciation for housing is 3 to 5% per year. And we had like 50, 60, 70% like half a year to 2 years. You know what I mean? So as awesome as that was for somebody who owned a home or bought a home in 2020, that's really not something that we need to worry too much about now, right? Because home prices are starting to settle down. Okay, which creates a much better manageable environment for buyers and sellers alike.
And one thing I want to mention, here in Knoxville, the economy is holding very well. And mentioning in our last recession, Knoxville economy didn't suffer as many other states within the nation.
Sure. I would still say we obviously had our economic impact.
For sure.
I saw groceries rise, I saw gas rise in
For sure.
prices, but I don't know, because I look at these headlines all the time about these big cities having these major issues, and gas is like at an all-time high and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just Knoxville doesn't seem to be getting hit as hard as everything else,
others.
right? And obviously, I say that because I live here and I love the place, but I also wouldn't lie to you, because if I want you to move here and live here, I'm not going to be like, oh, and then it's the opposite of what I said. So,
and I also want to mention we're still in the rise with jobs. We have UT here that is, growing in the medical field. We also have the tourism here in our backyard in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Right.
So we are still growing. We're still thriving.
Absolutely. Cybersecurity is something else that's also an incredibly heavy thing here with the University of Tennessee. Everybody really and truly, I think Knoxville is just a mecca for growth. I think it is a big place for growth.
Another question that we are getting, is it a good time to buy or sell? Well, my answer will always be, if it is your time, it is a time. Sellers are still selling, buyers are still buying. And a well-positioned home, and when I say well-positioned, it's marketed right, it's priced right, and it's shown right. It'll get attention, you'll get your home sold, and buyers are still out there. And even though when many people think that they have been priced out of the market, they have not.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
And this is something that a lot of people say a lot of the time as a joke, but I mean, the reality of this is insane. I mean, people will always need a home. Right? People will always want to sell. People will always want to buy. It is just a fluid market that will always continue to happen. So don't be afraid to put your house out there. Don't be afraid to buy a house. Don't be afraid to talk to a lender. Don't be afraid to talk to a real estate agent.
Right now, we have about 4 months, very close to 4 months of inventory. That means that we're having a great stable market. And that means also for buyers, you're getting the home at the right price, and you are going to be able to negotiate. You're going to have more negotiation power. And for sellers, well, they're still selling at the price that they are really expecting with a market like this.
Right. So for buyers, as we've mentioned before, the market is a lot less competitive and allows you to have a much more creative purchasing power. Right? So, just kind of keep that in mind. As things kind of settle down, yes, the interest rates are getting a little bit higher, but once again, man, I know you guys are going to get sick of me saying this, but marry the house, not the interest rate, right? You can always refinance to a lower interest rate, but you can't always qualify for the same amount of home. Right? I know so many people in 2020 who said, oh, I'm just going to wait for the market to settle. Well, what happened when the market settled? They weren't able to purchase a house anymore because the interest rates went up, and now they can't afford the home. So marry the house, not the interest rate. And another thing to kind of touch up on is the rental market, right? The rental market here in Knoxville is hot because, if you can't buy a home, you still have to rent, right? So Knoxville is a fantastic place for investors to come in, purchase a rental property, and start making some cash flow very quickly.
Yeah, and it's not going to stop. I mean, again, we go back to the production of homes and new construction is not keeping up with the amount of people that need homes.
Right.
So in the meantime, if you're buying a new construction home, you need to rent. So that's not going to stop either at any time soon. And I think it'll take us a great amount of years to even out with construction and buyers.
So this is something that I think is really good for buyers, right? The fact that home prices are kind of settling down, the market is less hot, there's not a bidding war on every single property, and there's not 10 to 12 offers on every property. So that kind of allows you to have some creativity and a little bit of flexibility to kind of bring back that, equalizer of buyer versus seller. Because I know at one point it was sellers up here were the law and buyers had to come up to the sellers, right? Then it dropped when we got to 8 or 9% interest rate. Then it was the opposite, right? people weren't wanting to sell and buyers were wanting to buy, but it just wasn't that same push and pull that it was in 2020. So things have settled down, okay, which in my opinion is kind of what we need, because we don't need such a competitive environment.
So there you have it. Knoxville market still strong, balanced, which means it's a good thing for buyers and sellers. And with a local strong economy, there is a lot to be optimistic about.
So whether you're thinking about buying and selling, or you're just wanting to know about the market in Knoxville, Tennessee, reach out to us. Our information is in the description box below. We'll be happy to help you make that move to Knoxville, Tennessee as smooth and as easy as possible. All right, we'll see you guys next time. So that was good. Huh? That was a good video. All right. Now we're going to do that little hidden part that we talked about at the beginning, talking about our boba tea. This is kind of just us being real people again for a minute.
It's very good. So
yeah.
we both end up going with the suggestion from the girl up front. And it is green tea. It has peach and it has lychee jelly, zero sugar. So like we are having this, and it's still sweet.
It's still very sweet. Yeah, it's still incredibly sweet, but not too sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not one of those like sweet that'll like coat the inside of your mouth. It's one of those, oh, that was nice, and then you move on. Right? I like it a lot. Like she said, it's the same thing. Fresh fruit, Deer Valley jasmine tea with
very
zero
nice.
Sugar. Yeah, very nice. I've been sipping on this the whole time we've been here. Yeah, the whole video, and it's pretty fantastic, I must say. The area is pretty good too. Let's kind of show you guys a little bit of a panoramic. We have, you know, a good bit of views here. I mean, you got to think about this. We're like near the end of our fall, right? So our trees and stuff have kind of already switched over, and we're starting to lose some of our leaves. But this is quite a beautiful place to live in, I would say, and a wonderful place to come visit. So
thank you.
We hope you guys enjoyed, and well, thank you guys so much for following along. If you reached this part of the video, once again, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you can be notified the first time we post. We post weekly, I think twice a week, right? So we're posting at least twice a week. Check us out. We'll help you move to Knoxville, Tennessee, man.